This is Mark Dell with Android Spin, and this review is for Gangstar West Coast Hustle by Gameloft. There are some types of games you just don't expect to see on mobile devices. Even the makers of Grand Theft Auto made their mobile version into a more traditional overhead game. Here is Gameloft's attempt at an open world game. It is impressive, but the corner cutting is significant. When you see an ambitious game such as Gangstar, a shameless GTA clone, on Android, you expect some rather rough edges, and it would be easy to harp on some of these issues without calling first to attention the fact that Gameloft has succeeded in making a fully functional open world game. You can run around, steal cars, take missions, get in firefights, and take part in races, just like you'd expect from a game of this type. Technical restraints keep the map size small and the view distance close, but it's hard to complain when the game runs smoothly and doesn't trigger loading times as you move around the city. The biggest issues that Gangstar faces aren't technical at all, but instead are balance and content problems that make the game both frustrating and sometimes not a lot of fun. Driving is a big part of these style of games, and provided you opt to use the accelerometer for control, getting around the city works fine and the car physics are at least tolerable. But any joy from driving quickly fades once you get into a race. Opponent cars naturally know which way to go, while you are left guessing which way you'll be turning at the next checkpoint. Practice makes perfect while you learn the layout of each race, but things are made worse when other cars are driving like tanks that turn on a dime. It feels like you're racing a pack of slot cars rather than intelligent drivers. Fortunately, all but one of the races are purely optional to the main story missions. Although there are plenty of get from A to B in under X seconds missions, these are far less frustrating. The other major part of the game is the combat, and it does come off poorly. There's no cover or tactics that need to be used. Just try to spin the view around so your target is on the screen and hold down the attack button for a second or two until they die. There's plenty of ammo around in the game, and money has very little other use, so you'll find it very easy to wipe out a whole group of enemies by just holding down the attack button. Occasionally you won't be able to use weapons and have to use hand-to-hand combat. The difference here is that instead of holding down the attack button, you just keep tapping it. Wrapping the combat and the driving together is a mediocre storyline that is accompanied by some of the best worst gangster cliches in a video game. The dialogue actually reaches the point that it becomes enjoyable just because it's so ridiculous. The death screen even announces, "You been murked," which is quickly becoming my favourite line from any video game. The story really can be just about as ridiculous, and it reaches high points such as chasing an old lady around a hedge maze that is only about knee high. All of Gangstar's issues are very quickly apparent, and it feels like it could have benefited from some more time in development to fix some of its problems. But despite this, Gangstar can be a lot of fun to play for the several hours it will take you to get through the storyline, if only to see what dumb thing will happen next.
Yo, this is Jamal, aka Fresh Cut from the Cheap Cuts Barbershop. We'll get you in and out with a brand new haircut at any cost. That's right. If you only have $5, we'll get you a $5 haircut. If you only have $1, we'll get you a $1 haircut. Maybe a curl or something. And if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll shave your head for free. Cheap Cuts Barbershop. Cheapest cuts in town? Hell yeah.